Hello and welcome to Cat Lady Yoga. It's open. How are y'all today? All right, we're just trying to get things positioned to protect them from Snuggles. Likes to chew on things. All right, I think we're good here. So welcome to Cat Lady Yoga and our yin practice today. My name is Regina. Here's little Snuggles. I'll just mention him by name. Phoebe walked out the door for a moment, but she'll be back. Here's our little guy. Yeah. Here's our little guy. So reach out to us with your comments and questions. Let us know what you would like more of in your practice, whether it's for guided meditation or for yin or anything else, whether it be chair fitness, chair yoga, a more restorative class. I do have some of those, but we can do more, or even a gentle flow class. If you need something and you're not seeing it on the website on Cat Lady Yoga, let me know and we will make sure we get that in place for you. All right, check out our mudras and our mantras and let us know what you think about those as well. All right, we are beginning our practice today in a seated forward fold. In the world of yin, it's often referred to as dragonfly. Let me check this angle just a little bit. Should be good. Gather any props and all your props. With yin, we want to be able to hold our pose for time without the need to engage the muscles. And we want to feel a little stress in the body, but not any sharp stabbing or burning pain. Okay. So come into the practice. You may want something to bring under the edge of your sitting bones to ensure your pelvis tips forward. This can be accomplished with a folded blanket. It can be a bolster. It can be blocks. I have this one little pillow I like to use. It seems to work pretty good. You're just taking it under the edge of the sitting bones. You're not using it as a full cushion. And then take the legs however wide is good for you. So wide is a very relative term. So you find what fits your body. Let the feet fall naturally. They don't need to stay flexed. They don't need to be pointed. Let them fall in a natural place. So I'm going to take this block forward, and then I think I'm going to build up my fold support. So I'll use a little pranayama bolster. Then I'll bring in my larger bolster. That brings it up fairly high for me, which is nice. You could reverse it. You could do the bottom, the pranayama on top if you'd like. And then I have this little pillow, so little toss pillow, and I'm going to use it to fold onto. So hinge from your hips, come as far as is good for you. I'm going to stay high for these first few breaths, so 3 to 5 breaths. Allow the body to begin to breathe into and open space in the body. For me, this will be specifically into my low back, into my hips, a little into our hamstrings. Hamstrings run along the back of the thigh. If this is too intense on the back of your legs, feel free to bend your knees enough that you can put a prop under there, right? Or if you need more than that, you can bend all the way to planting your feet and then coming forward, right? So find what fits your body and then come into stillness. Once you arrive, begin to guide your awareness to your breath. Notice the inhalation and the exhalation. Continue to focus on your breath each time it arrives. Allow your tongue to swirl and settle to the floor of your mouth. If you've been struggling with your energy level and would really like to boost that energy through your practice today, allow your inhalations to be longer than your exhalations. So your exhalation would be just a natural length for you. Figure out what that is. You might count it or just feel it. And then begin to lengthen your inhalation a little at a time until it's longer. Sometimes you can make it even to where it's twice as long. And that can really start to bring some great energy into your mind, body, and into your spirit. On the other hand, if you are struggling with a lack of energy, then you will want to lengthen your exhalation. And again, it'd be the same. Find your natural rhythm for your inhalation, and then begin to find a longer exhalation, a little at a time. Maybe with a few breaths, you'll be able to bring your head to a place where your forehead is supported. Five more slow, deep breaths. After your fifth breath, pardon me, walk your hands in close. Slowly bring the body up. Pause at the top. Shift gently and slowly through your torso, a little side to side, maybe. Maybe some circles of the torso. And then reverse your circles. Good. Sit up nice and tall. And we're moving into a fold over each leg. So let me grab this block. It's nice if you can always have your props within arm's reach. Sometimes might get shifted around, but all right, so we're moving into a forward fold, and we're starting with your right leg. So take blocks if you have them on each side. This is how I like to sit up. You can do whatever fits you. And then I take my larger bolster over it. And then I can grow tall and rotate over the leg and hang out. Again, letting the feet fall in a natural place. After a few breaths, if the body offers more space, you can slide your props a little further away and exhale deeper into the pose. Invite your mind into the stillness of the practice. So as the thoughts come, which that's what our minds are designed to do, welcome them, pardon me, and thank them for coming. And then on an exhale, maybe you like to visualize them floating away on a cloud, or placing them on a back burner, or maybe just minimizing the window, right? Find a visual that works for you and allow your mind to come back into a place of stillness. And this is where you'll be able to find more healing, more inner peace, and inner clarity, mental clarity. So finding that time and that space to be able to let go can really make a difference for you in the moments and days after your practice. Five more breaths, deep and slow. After your fifth breath, press into your hands, inhale the body up. Take your time coming up. And then we'll move props to second side. So if you need a little different setup on this side, which you might, it's not uncommon, then accommodate that for yourself. Grow tall and exhale. Right. I need a little more height on this side. Five more slow, deep breaths. After your fifth breath, hands come in close. We inhale up. Take our time at the top. And I meant to mention at the beginning of our practice, and I forgot, but I'm going to introduce you, pardon me, to the use of some therapeutic balls for yin. Well, they're, pardon me, they're not for yin, but they can be used. So slowly bend one knee and then the next. Bring the knees up, sit up tall, and then round the spine. Create a little gentle movement through the spine. And then come to neutral and allow your hands to come behind you. Your fingers will face your hips. Press into your hands, lengthen the spine. Exhale, drop your legs to your left. And as they drop, they don't need to touch, right? Create space. So you get a deeper inward rotation on the leg coming in. Covered in cat hair. Another breath here. And then you'll inhale, bring your legs up. Exhale, shift to second side. You might need a little adjustment. You might need to remove whatever prop is underneath you. And on the next inhale, legs lift, and then just flow with your breath. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. And take that again on each side. And then come up. Lengthen your legs for a minute, give them a little movement. All right, so these are lacrosse balls. I keep them in socks for a couple of reasons. One, that way, or multiple reasons. It's easier to hold on to them and place them. Like if I'm taking it under the sitting bones when I'm lying down, I have the end of the sock to hold on to, right? But if you're in a household like me with pets that will play with them, or a young child, like when my grandson comes, they can become misplaced, roll under furniture and things like that. So this helps me to reduce the chances of that happening because they don't identify it as a ball. And so they're not as inclined to investigate it and play with it. All right, so we're moving into supported bridge. Before we go there, and you may not even want the prop, you may just use these. So if you have, let me show you a lacrosse ball. You can use a tennis ball. But you want it to have some stability to it. You don't want something too soft and squishy. All right, so this is a lacrosse ball. So bend your knees to roll your spine down. If you need a little something under your neck when you arrive, watch out, Snuggles. You can take a thin, a small pillow, or even a rolled hand towel or washcloth would be great here. I'm going to take this and just fold it a little bit, tuck it under my neck, and give my head a little support. So as gravity draws the neck down, it's not hanging, it's supported. All right, from here, keeping the hips, knees, and toes in the same line, instead of using a block, at least initially, I'm going to press into my feet, lift my hips, and I'm taking these under the sternum. So the sternum is the flat bone that is below your hip level and above the muscle of the glutes, right? So it's in that little flat space. And when you find, and I have one on each side, then you can just gently rock the body side to side, maybe forward and back, little micro moves, maybe even tiny circles. And there's trigger points are right in there, in which if you make contact with them, you can just hold for stillness and let the body rest deeper into them as gravity draws you down. Or the little micro moves might get a little deeper or into different places of the trigger points, right? So if you struggle with a lot of low back pain, this might help to release some of it. And you're in bridge pose. The knees are bent, your body is long, your arms are either out wide, down beside you, or if it feels stable, you can even take them overhead. Make sure your arm is able to fully release. And if it doesn't release all the way to the earth, then take some kind of a prop, whether it's a pillow or a blanket or whatever you need under the arm, and bring it in where you need it the most, right? Not necessarily at the hand, but probably more up along either the forearm, the elbow, or the upper arm, right? And then come into those deep, steady breaths, allowing the body to sink and release with each exhalation. As the body releases and you have more room, you may not have as much stress, so that you might need to shift around a little bit to find another spot.
Now remember, if there's any sharp, stabbing, or burning pain, press into your feet, lift your hips, remove the balls. If there's something that has been troubling you, maybe thank it for its time and see if you on an exhale you can let it go, even if it's just a little bit for a little while, starting to find that place in your mind and heart that you can let it go, breath by breath, moment by moment. For the things that we stay attached to end up becoming the things, or that attachment to those things is what leads to our suffering. So finding it within ourselves to begin to let go a little at a time. Doesn't have to be the whole thing. It might be, but it doesn't have to be. Be gracious with yourself and let it go a little at a time. You might explore lengthening one leg along. If that feels comfortable, maybe you extend second leg. Stay aware of your low back. Check in with your body. If something is sharp, stabbing, or burning, ease out of it. I recently read a quote, and I'm going to paraphrase it here because I don't have it in front of me, but it just really made a nice impression on me. It said, "Grace is the face love makes in the presence of imperfection." Isn't that nice? Grace is the face love makes in the presence of imperfection. I can put the quote and the author of the quote in the comments later, but that one just really hit me well. Maybe it'll be something that is a good fit and resonates with you as well. Be gracious with yourself. Extend love. We're all imperfect. Now, if you need to shift the body on your balls, make sure you bend the knees again, set the feet. I'm going to ease off of these. So maybe you press in the feet, lift the hips and slide them out. Guide your hips back down for a minute. And then bring one knee in slowly. So you're releasing your glutes and getting a nice little stretch through the low back, through that region where we were using the balls on the trigger points. And then bring the other leg in. And release. All right, we're moving into some shoulder release here. So we're taking the body into a prone position. So you can simply roll the body over to one side, press into the top hand. The bottom arm is reaching behind us. So we move some props and make some space. So it's going to be just like this. In fact, let me do this side first so you can see it. All right, so you'll be on your side body. You can use a blanket or a bolster between the legs to keep that more level with the hip slide the hand behind you, and you want it in line with the shoulder or lower. As you come down, be easy on your shoulder. This is where you want to make sure you support your neck. Take a few breaths when you arrive. Then, once you feel comfortable here, if the body is willing, you can begin to press into your right hand to guide the top hand to bring that top shoulder back more, creating more alignment of the shoulders on top of each other. This is a good place for a block or some other prop that you can rest that top hand on. Then you might take your top leg, rest it back behind. And again, this is a great place for a block for the foot to rest. The arm might want to turn up. See if you can try to guide it back down. You might need to shift a little bit. And then come into stillness. If you don't have a block for the foot, you can always take the foot and let it rest on the inner leg or just on the earth. Each exhale, release. Physically release. Mentally. Emotionally. All right, 5 more breaths here. It can be intense, so we don't hang too long. After your 5th breath, very, very slowly, bring your leg back first. Begin to, you might need to move your props. Ease your body over onto your belly. Slowly. Guide the arm in closer. Let the palm turn up. And then we'll stack our hands and bring the forehead to rest on our hands for a little crocodile. A little transitional pose that is a gentle back bend. If this is still too much for your back, simply release your hands and bring your cheek down all the way and see if that fits your body better. Notice how the belly presses into the mat or into the earth. Feel your ribs expand. Breathe deeply. Let your lungs fully fill up. And fully release. Few more breaths. And then we'll inhale the head up. You might need to move your props around. Make sure you have them where you need them. All right. So we take second arm out behind us, palm down. Lay your cheek. Gently make your way over onto your side body. Keep the arms shoulder level or below. Once you're there, once you feel stable, you might keep a prop between the legs, or you might bend the knee and take your foot onto your prop. And then come back to breath. Damn. You want to play? I don't have a toy. What's a toy? You silly girl. You silly girl. Five more slow, deep breaths. You can bend the bottom knee. Gently begin to bring the top leg down. As you're ready, slide your body over onto your side. You might need to encourage your little furry friends, give you more space. Slide your arm in. We're moving into sphinx pose. So a sphinx pose, we want the elbows to rest on the earth. I like to bring in a prop for sphinx pose for yin. So I'll use this, bring it in under the chest. Elbows on the earth and in line with our shoulders. The legs fall naturally out. And we just come into a long spine initially. So shift around so you feel grounded. Notice if you've engaged the glutes and let them release. After 3 to 5 breaths with the head in neutral, you can explore where your body would like to go. You might press into your arms and hands. Inhale, lengthen from tailbone to crown, bringing the chin up parallel to earth, or maybe even a little higher. Be mindful as you lift your chin that you're lengthening the back of your neck. You don't want any crunching into your neck or into your low back. So this could be one option. It opens the throat space more, brings more energy movement, new fresh blood flow into the thyroid and parathyroid. Other option, exhale, guide chin toward chest. Begin to soften shoulders and let them become a hammock for your head. Wherever you are, bring ease through your jaw, your brow, and your glutes and shoulders should be, they might be a little engaged depending on where you're at in the pose, but avoid any tight clenching or gripping. And come back to breath. You need to go close the breath. You're going to be feisty. Go on. Well, I'm not playing it. No, ma'am. Phoebe. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. 5 more breaths. If you're really enjoying the upright position of Sphinx pose, you might take your hands out toward the corners, lengthen your elbows, with a little more stress in low back, maybe even in shoulders. If you come into seal, that's what this is. If you come into seal, your glutes will gently engage. Just bring awareness to them and see if you can notice if they're in a tight clench or if it's just a little engagement. Bring it to that space of a little engagement. Last 3 breaths. And then exhale, bring the body back down. If you have props underneath you, go ahead and move them. But keep something close you might need for your head. So we're going into an under the body stretch for the shoulders. So take one arm under the body, palm will be up. Now, if you have the range of motion and your body welcomes it, you can take the second arm across also. That doesn't work for me. So I will keep that arm out and then exhale the body down. And this might be where you want a little prop under your head. 5 more breaths. After your 5th breath, gently inhale, head up. If both arms are under you, bring the top arm out first. Then you can press into it to guide the bottom arm out. Then we switch sides. Opposite arm under. If you're taking both arms, then you'll put, the one that was on top will go on bottom. And you'll switch it out, and we exhale down. Use your breath. Breathe into the place of tension. Exhale, release the tension. Last 5 breaths. After your 5th breath, gently inhale, head up. Bring the top arm out. Press into it. Slowly guide the bottom arm out. And then we'll bring right cheek all the way down to the mat. Slide left knee up along the earth toward the left elbow. This will give us a full release for low back. Take a few breaths here. Maybe move your jaw around, swirl the tongue around. Release any tension that might be in the jaw, in the face. When you're ready, slowly bring the body over onto your right side. And press up. And if you have those lacrosse balls, we're going to use them in shavasana. If you don't, that's okay. You can just take without. So taking them under the trapezius. The trapezius is this muscle, or the muscles, right here. So between the shoulder blade and your spine, and up into the space and up by our neck, right? And it can get tight and we get knots in there. So I'm going to take a little something under my knees to make it more cozy. Bend the knees to roll the body down. And then find your placement. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. And then bring the head to rest. Take the arms out. If you can lengthen your legs, go for it. But with the balls under the traps, you might feel better if the knees stay bent. So I think I'm going to keep my knees bent. So I'll walk my feet out wide, let my knees come in toward one another for constructive rest. Come into stillness. Walk the arms, slide the arms where it feels right for you. Again, if it's sharp, stabbing, or burning, please ease out of it. If it's just comfortably uncomfortable, use your breath. If you need to shimmy around a little bit for a few breaths, just to find that really tender spot that you want to hang out in, feel free to do that. And then come to stillness. You can either let the head drop and create more space through the throat, or if you need it, take a little something under the head to find that alignment where the neck is in a neutral and your forehead is just slightly below your chin. All right. If you have the balls under your trapezius, roll to one side enough that you can release the ball from the opposite side, and then do that for the second side. And come into a full shavasana. Big exhale, surrender, soften and soothe the body down. Allow the earth to fully hold and support you. Feel it cradle your heels, back of your legs, buttocks, back and shoulders, back of your arms, your hands. Allow the earth to cradle your head. Notice the weight of your the fabric, whether it's your clothes or a blanket, on your skin. Notice your space to your right, and notice the space to your left. Sense the energy within your palms. Bring awareness to your lips. Feel inside your lips. Notice your top teeth and gum, your bottom teeth and bottom gum. Notice the roof of your mouth and the floor of your mouth, tip of your tongue, and the back of your tongue. Feel sensations within your mouth. Feel your whole body. Observe all. Now within your mind, see your fingers moving. See it. Then physically begin to move your fingers. Roll through your wrists. Wiggle toes. Maybe make some ankle movements. Maybe the head. When you're ready, softly and slowly roll to your side. Let your body rest for a moment in fetal position with the knees drawn in. Head might rest on your arm. And then when you are ready, inhale, slowly bring the body up. It's a good yin session when your hair is a wrap. All right. So let's grow nice and tall. Inhale, arms. Fill your arms, heart, and mind with love and kindness for yourself. As palms meet, exhale to heart. Share love and kindness with others. We are all priceless. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate your being here. If you saw any of Phoebe's little antics, leave a comment. Let me know that you noticed that. She can be quite the little booger. She's up there on the stand behind me. But she's a sweetheart. Thanks so much for being here, and leave your messages. Share us with your friends on YouTube and help us to grow the channel, as well as to help them with their physical and their yoga and meditation journeys. Alrighty, bye-bye.